Hello ActsKids teachers, welcome back to the video. This week we are in Unit 2, Session 2, titled Rahab Hid the Spies in Jericho. And the level of biblical learning that we are in is that people are responsible for their choices and any consequences for their actions. So Session 1 was about Gideon and that he chose to obey God. And Session 2 is that people can choose to respect God. So our passage is in Joshua 2 and 6, and this can appear to be a lot of information, but I will go through it with you. So in chapter 2, Joshua, he sends 2 spies to Jericho. And the king of Jericho finds out about the spies and realizes that they visited Rahab. And so they ask her to bring them out. But Rahab responds in this way. She says, yes, the men did come to me, but I didn't know where they came from. And so she lies to save the spies. And she's risking her life to do this. Why would she risk her life for 2 strangers? And this is what she says. This is why she saved them. She says, I know. So this is a really interesting way of saying it. She has knowledge already and she believes it. She knows that the Lord has given you this land and that the terror of you has fallen on us. And everyone who lives on the land is panicking because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 Amorite kings, you completely destroyed across the Jordan. We heard this, we lost heart, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God of heaven above and the earth below. Now please swear to me by the Lord that you will also show kindness to my father's family, because I showed kindness to you. So she knows this because she believes what happened, and she is responding with an act of sacrificial faith because she knows that this is the way to salvation. She's risking her life upon this faith that she believes. She shows faith that most Israelites didn't even show during the time of the wilderness. And the men agree with that. The men tell her to tie a scarlet cord to the window so they know which house to spare. And they say, bring your father, mother, brothers, and your father's family into your house. If anyone goes out the doors of your house, his death will be his own fault, and we will be innocent. And this is reminiscent of Noah's Ark. The flood will come, and you will only live if you enter the ark. The scouts report to Joshua, the Lord has handed over the entire land to us. Everyone who lives in the land are also panicking because of us. And this was the same sign that was given to Gideon. At the very end, he learned what his enemies were dreaming, right? They were all afraid of him. And he gained confidence for battle, and the same way for the Israelites in this chapter. And on chapter 6, they finally start the battle of Jericho. And God tells Joshua very similar thing that he told Gideon. He says, look, I have handed Jericho, its king, and its best soldiers over to you. He's already predicting the future, right? Telling him the result. So Joshua's role is not to lead creatively or using his wisdom, but doing what God tells him to do. We see in the life of Rahab and Joshua and the Israelites, they're just doing exactly what they're told to do. And so they do what God tells them to do, walking around the city for 7 days, and on the 7th day they march around the city 7 times and have a shout, and they say, shout, for the Lord has given you the city, but the city and everything in it are set apart to the Lord for destruction. Only Rahab the prostitute and everyone with her in the house will live, because she hid the messengers we sent. There is a big parallel with the conquest of Canaan with the return of Jesus at the end time. When he returns with his army of angels, it will be judgment like this. For us, it may seem like Jesus is delaying. When is he coming back? And for the unbelievers, it may seem like the judgment of God will never arrive. But after 7 days of marching around the city, judgment will come gradually, then suddenly. That's like the end times. No one knows when it's coming. People are saying Jesus will never return, but one day he will suddenly come and everyone will be judged, and they are able to defeat the city of Jericho. If only the citizens of Jericho had faith like Rahab. God does not want to judge anyone who has faith and who is repentant, but only those who are wanting to fight against the knowledge they were given, the knowledge about God and his fearsome wrath that is coming. Rahab repented and believed, but the rest did not and decided to fight. Maybe they were confident on their walls. They thought, even though they were scared, that they had a chance. But Rahab knew that they had no chance against the God of Israel, who rescued them from Egypt and defeats their enemies. Rahab and her family are spared, and likewise, believers will be brought out on the day of judgment and will receive mercy, not because we deserved it, but because he gave us grace through faith in his work. In the same way, Rahab was given mercy through the grace of God when she had faith in his works, his work of rescuing them from Egypt and saving them. And so they burned the city and everything in it. God promises, remember with Noah, never to judge the world through the flood, but in the future, fire will be the ultimate judgment. We see fire with Sodom and Gomorrah, fire in Jericho, and all the other cities that they will defeat, and fire when they sacrifice animals, and in the end, people will be judged by the fire. So the Lord was with Joshua.